Let's fly down. Oh, drive down to New Orleans. Bring it on down to New Orleans. That's it, hell pretty. And historic scenes. I'll take you and I'll parade you down Bourbon Street. Check out the hot spots. Hang with the big shots.
Right. Thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, you're in tune to radio station WWOZ FM New Orleans, and you just heard music, Bourbon Street Parade, as a matter of fact, from the Landry-Walker High School Brass Band, also known as the Chosen Ones. And I'm very pleased to have them live in the studio with us today. And I also am very extra pleased to have their band director, Mr. Wilbert Rowlands Jr., in the house. All right. Yes. So this is part of our Cuttin class, and we like to bring in young people who are keeping the New Orleans traditions alive. And Mr. Wilbert Rowlands, you've played a big role in that over a career, a couple of decades by now, I'm sure, of band directing local students. What do you find most satisfying about that?
I guess just watching them grow, because when you first meet a kid, they think they know a lot about life. They really don't, but to watch them grow and watch them to come back and say maybe 10 years, I like to give them 10 years to really take the tutelage and all that we've given to them, not just myself, but the school, the nurturing of the school, and they come back in like 10 years and it's like, well, Mr. Rollins, I want you to meet my wife and my child. And the sad part about it is that they don't remember who they were when you first met them. So we have a little project that we do in the band room. I take the smallest kid in the band every year. We have one now, Jamari. He plays French horn and mellophone in the band. And we put him on the wall and we draw a mark on the top of his head like my father used to do me. These kids say they don't do that now. It's like that's how you can tell growth.
Right.
So, and every month we measure him. And every month he's growing a half an inch. 1 month he jumped up a whole inch.
Wow.
So it's just growth, to watch him grow, and those little bitty half of inch here, inch there, that turns into,
And I'm sure they do that musically as well.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
just
a
an
metaphor
example.
for their musical growth and maturity as a human being.
Right.
Beautiful thing. So one of the most common examples that people know of your good works in this nature is the TBC Brass Band. They were students of yours. yours when you taught at Carver.
Right.
Right, and now they are one of the most popular brass bands on the scene, making their living and making their way in playing music. And you must be awfully proud of Juicy right now.
I am.
Yeah.
I am to watch him, and he always said to me, he had a regret. He said, "Man, I wish I would have gone to Southern University and marching in band." But at that time, some of my friends did not want to go and do it, but I really wanted to do it. And about maybe 2 years ago, he's like, "Well, I still have that feeling." I was like, "Well, just go do it. You're still young enough. You don't have a wife, you don't have all these kids. I mean, you can go. You're going to college. You're furthering your education. So, I mean, just go and do it."
And they can never take that away from
They
you.
never take. And then he went and he got in the band. And at first they called him, I think his crab name might have been Pops or Old Man. Or something. But it's not like he's old, But he didn't go with his crab class, or his freshman class. They don't call them crabs anymore. It's a form of hazing. But, yeah, I mean, TBC, it's just an opportunity again to help to save some kids. And I really, truly believe in that. I mean, you can say all you want about Wilbur Rouse and this and that, but all the awards and accolades, they don't mean anything. It's just when you get that kid to come back and they look you in the eye and they say to you without words, thank you for all that you've done for me.
You made a
to
difference.
me, because sometimes you have to do something to them to get them to understand also,
Right.
I don't have a problem with that either. But
So you have taken these students around the world over the years. You've gone to Japan, and then just this last fall you went to France. Can you tell us a little bit about
We've been to
that?
France twice in the last 5 months. If I'm not mistaken, we just brokered a deal with the Minister of Education in France to go over for another 4 times within the next, I think it's 8 months, because in France they don't teach instrumental music. The kids don't. It's strange that they teach a lot of African drumming, and if you learn music in France, it's probably from a conservatory. It's the upper echelon, the privileged children who get a chance to go to those conservatories and learn instrumental music. So we sort of started a school. I don't want to call it the Maestro Wilbur Rollins School, but a school where they're going to take 15 children out of an area high school and start to train them as it pertains to instrumental music. And what we'll do from then is move forward with starting to prepare a school band, to build all kinds of, I guess what you can say is a hypeness in the band. I can't understand why they don't have marching bands in France. I consider them to be the capital of the arts.
Right.
So,
So many of our black artists fled the United States for the comfort and security of France over the last 20th century, too.
I could understand why, though, man. When we got off the plane, it was like these children were instantly superstars, and the music was so well received in France. And it almost seems as if they were in amazement that these children were playing instruments. And then we went up there for the International Music Festival. That was the first time we went. It was a paid gig where we went to go and perform. And we had a couple of off days. So we asked, could we go? And I wanted the children to see what a high school was like. Let's be real and honest. I wanted to find out what it was like. I wanted to find out there's some things that I can learn from, the people in France. How are they teaching their children? And we came to find out that they weren't teaching them instrumental music. So we went in and started to have performances in the elementary schools. Never forget, there was this one young lady who they had isolated. I don't know if she was just maybe a little bit rambunctious. They tried to hide her from us. I don't know.
Let me guess, she fit right in.
She as soon as the band started to play, you can see in the corner that it was something that turned her on, and then they had a teacher who was watching her, and I guess she got excited about the music and turned her back, and she managed to slip away, and I looked down, and she's standing next to the bass drum, Cortez, and Cortez, he likes to dance, so it's like, he would rather give up the bass drum and let someone else play it, and he just go and dance with the kids and have a good time, because all these are just kids, they love what they do. And the young lady who had never done this before, he taught her for like maybe 30 seconds, and she became our bass drummer.
Wow!
Right there in France, right on the spot. That was a big moment, and I think the Minister of Education, when he saw that, You know, when he saw that, he understood then that there's a power in music. So imagine if that young lady was given problems in class and she had band class or she had music class. How much power that the teacher possesses to just say, well, you're not going to be able to go to band class today if you don't. I guarantee they'll never have another problem with that kid because that's what happens over at our school. You know, at Landry-Walker High School, you have to have a 2.8 grade point average to participate in band or any extracurricular activities. So if you don't obtain the 2.8, then you can't perform. You can't even come to practice.
And I'll tell you, if you're a sports fan over at Landry-Walker, specifically the football team, and you guys have killer sports teams, you're always at the top. I always are reading in the paper Landry-Walker's star quarterback, defensive tackle, whatever. Yeah. And then here's the Landry-Walker marching band that gets to perform with them at halftime. That is a winning combination if there ever was one.
To add to it, our boys basketball team just on last night, they just won the semifinal games. They're now in the state championship game on this Saturday in Lake Charles. That's going to be a really, really big game. So we won the state championship last year. And, shouts out to the boys basketball team, Coach Gibson, Coach Mitchum, Coach Will Gray, all of these guys who work so diligently with these youngsters to achieve perfection. You know, and that's kind of difficult sometime in this day and age, too. Mediocrity seems to be floating about like it's nothing, you know. I mean, Martin Luther King said it's very, very rarely that you find people nowadays who want to engage in real solid, serious thinking. You know, they're ready to just take mediocrity at hand. But again, over at Landry-Walker, we strive for.
It's just great to hear good news coming out of our schools, and definitely marching band and other arts programs, sports programs, any kind of after-school program is a beautiful thing. But we're really happy here at WWOZ to be able to support the marching bands. And with that said, we're very happy to announce to our listeners that through a very special grant from a generous sponsor, we are able to donate $1,000 to Landry-Walker High School's marching band program.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
And we have something else. We'd like to thank you here at WWOZ for bringing the band in, doing the fund drive, and representing Cuttin class. And here's your very personal WWOZ Cuttin class.
With a tuba on the back. Yeah. You know I play tuba, right?
Which Will plays the tuba.
There you go.
I'm a tuba player, man.
And Nita, we got one for you too.
All right.
So we'll get Russell's, and yes, I have mine, of course.
Yes.
Oh, this is nice.
And if this is the kind of thing that you like to see WWOZ supporting, please call 877-907-6999 or log on to wwoz.org, where it is quick, secure, and easy to pledge your support to this great radio station. And we're going to come back and find out what's going on with Landry-Walker. But we're going to hear another song from the young people, the Chosen Ones Brass Band. And then when we get done with that song, we're going to come and talk to a couple of students. So, fellas, whenever there's a young lady in the group. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
She's the first lady.
You like a donut, just ain't cutting it. Keep talking loud, but you ain't saying nothing. You like a donut, just ain't cutting it. Keep talking loud, but you ain't saying nothing.
Yes, indeed. That
Good
was
job,
the
guys.
All right, that was the Chosen Ones brass band straight from the West Bank's Landry-Walker High School, playing live in the studio. And if you'd like to pledge your support, 877-907-6999 is the number to call, or visit wwoz.org, where it is quick, easy, and secure to make your pledge. We're going to talk to a couple of students right about now. Who would like to come in and speak for the group, or if you want to, you can step right up to the microphone. And I'd also like everybody to be able to introduce themselves, or somebody could introduce each band member for me. Hello, how are you today, young man? You were singing earlier.
How you doing?
I'm good. What is your name?
My name is Nathan.
Nathan, and how old are you, and what instrument do you play?
I'm 17 and I play trumpet.
All right. And do you want to introduce the rest of the band members, or would they like to step up and introduce themselves?
How you doing?
Hey,
I'm Elise Smith. I'm 15. I play alto sax.
you sounding good too.
How y'all doing?
Hi.
My name Kennedy, and I play trumpet. I'm
All right.
18. I'm in
Okay.
the 12th grade.
All right. A senior.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Charles Trusty. I'm 17 and I play trombone.
Excellent. All
How
right.
you doing?
Hello.
My name is Curtis. I'm 18. I play trombone.
All right.
How y'all doing? I'm Stephon, 17. I play trombone.
How y'all doing? My name is Jerron Bell Williams. I'm 17 and I play the trumpet.
All right. And let's not forget about our bass player back here.
How you doing? My name is Jawan Davis. I play tube, and I'm a junior. I'm 17.
All right.
How you doing? My name is Kerry Sheaf. I'm 16 and I play the snare drum.
There we go.
How you doing? My name is Cortez Marshall. I play the bass drum. I'm 17 years old.
And I hear you're a superstar over in France.
Yeah, I got the dance moves.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to put this question out to whoever wants to answer it. How many of you, did all of you get to go to France in this past fall?
This past fall, only 8 out of the 10 students that's in here now were able to go to France. 2 are unable because of passport problems.
Okay. Well, what was your favorite part about being in a foreign country and bringing New Orleans traditions to people your own age over there?
In France, we get to witness other people's culture. We get to bring our culture
to a different, to a foreign country, and we get to share the things that we get to do in New Orleans and France. You know, our cities and our countries are similar to each other.
Was it shocking to you that only kids with money get to study music in France?
It was very shocking because down here we have public schools and private schools, and all the children are allowed to be able to participate in band programs, and not all the children in France are allowed to. It's only the wealthy, basically.
Right, it's practically your God-given right in New Orleans to be able to study music. I mean, even if you're not in an official program, it's all around you all the time. So, somebody tell me, what do you get most out of being involved with band, in marching band? And I'm sure some of you are in. Well, I know you're in brass band, maybe in jazz or concert band.
Well, what we get out of band is for some of us, unfortunately, we don't have a father figure. Therefore, Rawlins stands there, and we have other band directors like Mr. Clifford Chandler and Mr. Dwayne Trotter, and we just learn more. We just learn more that we wouldn't have ever learned without our father. So we have a father figure for the most part, and we always have somebody we could talk to no matter what.
And then you also have a skill. Do you plan on pursuing music as a career once you graduate from high school?
Yeah, I want to pursue. I want to become a band director like Mr. Rawlins. He really my inspiration. I want to go to college he went to, and graduate in musical education, and come back to Landry-Walker and be a band director once he retires.
That's a beautiful thing, once he retires. You act like Mr. Rollins is old or something.
He's getting up there. He's getting up there.
Yeah, you keep talking like that, he might just turn around and quit on you.
That was too much.
That's right. Okay. So how about everyone else? Does the rest of you feel the same way? Do you want to pursue music as a career?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have an idea where you might like to go to college, or what you want? I mean, what kind of route do you want to follow with the music?
I want to be something like my band director. I want to go to Southern University. I play multiple instruments too in the percussion section.
All right. So it's not just the bass drum. What else do you play?
I play tenor drum, snare, cymbals, suspended cymbal, bass drum.
All right.
I'm a percussionist.
That's right. An all-around guy. All right. Well, does anybody want to give a shout out? Do you have anything to say about your band program, your band director?
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Rawlins and Mr. Cliff, Mr. Dwayne, and Mr. French. I want to give a shout out to Ms. Laura, our principal, for giving the opportunity to have such a good time while also being in the band. And I'd like to shout out the whole Landry-Walker School in New Orleans.
All right. That's a beautiful thing. I want to thank you guys and young lady for all coming in. Let me speak to this young lady really quick. What's it like to be the only girl hanging out with all these young men and playing music? Is it different from for girls to do this?
It's kind of weird at first, but all these guys are actually my brothers. They treat me like a sister.
For better, for worse, right?
Yeah.
That's great. And so do you plan on pursuing music as a career once you graduate from high school?
I actually want to be a veterinarian.
Okay. That's good. Well, I'm sure you've been told this time and time again that when you're involved in music programs, it helps you become more disciplined and focused. And I bet that you're taking a lot of the discipline that you learned with music, and you're going to be able to apply it to a veterinarian degree, and still get the music is still going to have a big part of your life.
Yeah, I know.
She know. She already know.
I would like to encourage anyone that's listening that if they want to help in any sort of way, they could call this number 1-877-907-6999.
Thank you, Bear. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to have to bring you on board as a pitch person. All right, so y'all got one more tune for us, right? All right, here we go. Landry-Walker High School's Chosen Ones Brass Band right here on WWOZ FM New Orleans.
Let's go get 'em. 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 Say oh, whoa. Say oh,
Guys, good job.
Charging bucks.
You're in tune to radio station WWOZ FM New Orleans. You just heard Let's Go Get 'Em by the Chosen Ones brass band, the pride of the West Bank, coming straight out of Landry-Walker High School. Thank you so much, young people, for coming and gracing us with your talent and your time today. We really appreciate that.